Hey everybody, this is me, the Undead Viking, and this is artwork from the game Cthulhu Crusades. Cthulhu Crusades is a card game in which each person has a copy of the Necronomicon, bear with me, and they are living during the era of the Crusades, and you have a castle, and you have this copy of the Necronomicon. You're using it to summon all kinds of horrible, awful powers from the ancient old ones, and using that to increase your armies and what have you. And you're trying to establish yourself as the most powerful, wizard or Necronomicon dude or dudette during that era. And it is a kind of a neat little combination of both theme and historical situation, if you will. Now, don't get me wrong, there's not a lot of historical premise in this. Obviously, there wasn't like massive Cthulhu worshippers during the Crusades, but it is kind of neat to kind of think about it, which is kind of the game's charm in a way. The game, as I said, is a card game. You are going to have a castle that is represented by cards, and then you're going to have this deck of villagers, this village deck that you're going to be drawing from, and there you're going to get a lot of the different cards you're going to use for your actions, your resources, such as, you're going to have gold, you're going to have soldiers, you're going to have hapless victims that you're going to sacrifice to these horrible creatures, all in the name of taking out your opponents and getting their copy of the Necronomicon for yourself. So, let me show you how the game is played. It isn't super difficult, but it has some little quirks and funkiness going on, and then we'll come back here and I'll give you my final thoughts. Alright, cool. The goal in Cthulhu Crusades is to knock down each person's walls. As you can see, there are 3 walls and there's a castle behind them. If you destroy the castle, you win the game. You'll notice that the castle has this little Necronomicon, and basically you want the other player's book, their Necronomicon, so you can further your power with the evil ancient ones that you worship. But to do that, what you need to do is you need to systematically destroy the different parts of the walls that are protecting the castle, and then take out the castle. You'll notice that these castle walls have these 2 shields, and the castle itself has 3 shields. When you make an attack, basically the attack strength has to be equal to or greater than the defenses that are there. But you can bolster your defenses and some other things as you play the game, and I'll show that to you how that works. So each person starts off with 5 of these village cards. The other cards that you have here, this is the Cthulhu cards. You get Cthulhu cards by casting spells using your Necronomicon. Basically, you have to have cultists that are working for you, and also maybe sacrificing some poor hapless souls to the ancient ones, and you can get some Cthulhu help. These are the kind of cool picture here, and the artwork in this game is pretty awesome. But these are the deep ones, and once again, if you can sacrifice people to the deep ones successfully, they will give you boons by giving you free cards from the village deck. And then there's some siege weapons, and you can also use. You have builders and constructors that can build siege weapons, and the siege weapons are kind of cool because they can break down walls easier. There's also ways that you can get to the castle quicker by maybe circumventing some of the walls and stuff like that. But I'll talk about that in just a little bit. So each person starts off with 5 village cards to start the game. At the beginning of each one of your turns, you will draw a village card for free. There is no hand limit. So if you can just keep getting cards, but you're going to be using them pretty quickly. So you're not really going to have a ton of cards in your hand. The big thing is that you basically get 1 action on your turn, and there's several different things you can do. If you have gold, you can purchase more cards from the village deck. As I said, if you have cultists and things that you can sacrifice, you can summon cards out of the Cthulhu deck. If you want to throw people to the deep ones, you can do that to get more cards and construct things. But the most important thing is that you can attack your opponents as long as you have cards that allow you to attack them. You have different units that can go through that process. You can also, if you have units, you can bolster the defenses of your walls and your castle by putting soldiers and bowmen in those locations to increase them. So here we have my starting hand. I got a couple of soldiers, as you can see, and I got some gold, which is good because gold, you can use that to purchase more cards. And then I have this poor hapless soul that I could use as a sacrifice. So if I want to buy a card, I can just go ahead and spend gold, and I can draw more cards out of the deck. So you can get more options available to me. If I wanted to make an attack, you can notice that like both of my soldiers have that one little sword up there. That would be enough to equal an attack on, like, if I said I'm attacking with these two soldiers, and I picked a wall, theoretically I destroyed that part of the wall. However, there are cards that you can have in your hand that will allow you to have defenses enabled that will prevent that from happening. You'll notice that the soldiers have this kind of the red shield, and you'll notice that the castle has the exact same thing. If I wanted to, I can go ahead and place my soldiers in my castle like so, and I can go ahead and increase the defenses that my castle has. Notice how it has a 3 basic. The maximum you can add is the same number as that, so you can maximum add is 3. So if I had another soldier, I would max that out. Let me find a Bowman card. So let me just kind of put that down there, and then let me find a Bowman card, and I can kind of show you how that works. So here you can see is a Bowman, and you'll notice that theirs is a green one. And so then, it's just kind of the same thing where, like, you just go ahead and you'd put it in there like so to show that that particular wall had a Bowman on there and actually can defend better. So, and once again, you can only maximize that out to 2 more. So you'd have, like, 2 is the maximum for a wall before if you had 2 Bowman on there. Now, if I wanted to, like, say, use the deep ones to try to like get more cards out of this deck, what you do is you take the top card of the deep ones deck, you turn it over, and then you see what you get. And so you count the number of deep ones that are on the card. In this case, there's 1 deep one on there. And then it's because you don't know how many are going to be on there. I have to be able to sacrifice that many people to that deep one, basically, tossing them into the water. And, it's kind of neat how, like, it actually kind of hooks up like that. I thought that was kind of neat. Anyway, so, and so the deep one eats the person. And then you look at the bottom of the deep one card, you can see that it has a 2 there. That means I get to draw 2 cards from the top of the deck, and I get to add them to my hand. And so I could have those. And this is kind of cool. I got a knight card. Knight cards are actually, if I did an attack, like, and there's tons of different cards, I'm not going to go through all of them right here, but if I did an attack on somebody, let's say I said, okay, I'm going to do an attack, and I have the knight card, I can say, this is my knight, and then I can, not a knight, like a knight, but no, it's a knight when I'm attacking, and I can go ahead and place my cards underneath like so, and they don't know exactly what's attacking them or how powerful they are, and so they can decide whether or not they're going to use any of the defensive cards. Now, I've said defensive cards a couple of times. Defensive cards are these Cthulhu cards. That are very important, and you can get these, that you can use them, and you can see, like, an Elder thing appears and 2 Bowmen run away. So if the attack has Bowmen, you could use that. Flying monster is scaring the Bowmen on the wall, so once again, you lose a Bowman. Some of them, like, reduce the knights. So 1 soldier runs away when he sees this horrible Gug. A Shoggoth appears to eat humans on your wall. So, I mean, these are the cards that you want to get a hold of these because they are very powerful and they can be used to, and those are reactionary. So, if somebody says, I'm attacking that wall, okay, I see you have a bunch of Bowmen, I can play that card, and you have less, and then theoretically, then the attack wouldn't work. You don't, you either destroy what's there or you don't destroy what's there. You don't, do damage to it and, say, okay, well, here, put a damage marker on it. So you either destroy it or you don't. And then quickly, I just want to show you these different catapult things. So you can see, obviously, these are very powerful. And some of these, like here, I love the Cthulhu trap, the Trojan horse. So it's like, oh, look, they're offering us a giant Cthulhu. There's certainly nothing hiding inside of there. And so, that can go right to the castle, and if you use it, you can go to attack. Battering rams are good against the walls, obviously. But you can see that, these are, quite powerful, sort of, and to help you with your combats. To get those, you have to have a Constructor card, at least one. Let me find one here, and I'll show you what those are. So I guess technically they're called builders, but you have to have a builder card, and you have to have at least one, and then you have to have a 4 total either builders or gold, and then you can build a card out of the siege weapons. And so you could use this one and 3 gold. You could use 3 of these and 1 gold, but you have to have at least one of these. You can't use 4 gold to build a siege weapon. You have to have at least one. So there you go. I mean, that ultimately is the game. It is all about like, as I said, finding a good mix between attacking your opponent, but also making sure that you have good cards for defense, and also bolstering your defense by adding different people to the different parts of your walls and your castle, so you can stay alive long enough to have your attacks actually work. This is a quirky, fun little game. I love the art. I love the whole premise of it. The fact that, it's the Crusades or whatever, but there's Cthulhu there as well. It's highly enjoyable. It's something that my daughter and I really enjoyed playing, but I'll talk more about that in my final thought. Alright, so there you go. That is Cthulhu Crusades. Now, as I said, it isn't the most difficult game to learn. It is pretty straightforward. I think the fun of the game, as I said, is the combination of that balancing act of being able to use your resources to put forth really good attacks. Because you can't win if you don't actually take out your opponent. But also, if you're using up all of your soldiers, all of your bowmen, and just going for it, and and you're not going to have anything to defend yourself with. I mean, the walls, as you saw, 2 soldiers, if you're able to attack a wall, you're going to take it out unless somebody has some way to defend yourself. So you have this kind of, reckoning that you have to go through in order to win. Now, the game doesn't last very long. It lasts maybe about 15 minutes, and I think that's kind of perfect for this type of game. It isn't meant to be, some long slog or deck builder or anything like that. It's just meant to be kind of fun. As I said, the theme is a little bit whimsical. I mean, as I said, it is kind of neat to feel oh, okay, so during this time of the Crusades, not only were there people going to the Holy Land and having these horrible wars, but at the same time there was also these weird, crazy, rulers sitting in their castles, summoning deep ones and Cthulhus and Shoggoths and what have you, and going to war over, vile, evil tomes of dark dealings with great old ones and what have you. And so I think that kind of, it is where, for me, it really shined a bit, just because it made it enjoyable. I could kind of see this whole process. There's sometimes when you play games and the theme kind of is really evident, as far as cinematically, I guess, when you're playing. I mean, I think we've all played games when we're acting out what's going on, and this wasn't really acting out me saying, oh, I'm attacking you with my deep ones or what have you. But in my mind, I could see these crazy rulers heaving people off of docks to the waiting fish creatures to be eaten, so they could then use those powers to go into the village and get more get more soldiers to work for them, or get people that can construct big giant siege engines and what have you. And it's the game definitely lasts exactly as long as it should. I mean, it is very quick, it is very brutal, and it is the person that does the best job at handling that seesaw of between attacking and defending and kind of building yourself up. They're going to do the best job. So there you go. That is Cthulhu Crusades. If you have any questions about it, please ask away. I'll answer those to the best of my ability. I mean, basically, if you are a fan of these type of card games and you like a Cthulhu theme, I think you really should check it out. But as always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. Until next time, I'm me, the Undead Viking, and I'm telling you to have yourself a heck of an awesome day. Alright, bye-bye.